Yo, everybody, what is going on? It's Tuesday night, Hockey Happy Hour coming at you live on A2D Radio. Got a lot to talk about tonight. As most of you already know, there's a Carter Hart situation going on. We're going to have to discuss. We got Flyers Lightning going on live right now. Lightning are up 2-0 in the beginning of the second period. We're going to also preview the Red Wings game on Thursday night, and we're going to recap a little bit of the woes that was a little bit last week of Flyers hockey and what can they do to right this ship moving forward here. We got some news and notes going on with the organization. Like I said, Carter Hart, Owen Tippett, we're going to talk about a lot. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share, comment in. We want to hear from all of you tonight. Let's giddy up. Time to talk some puck.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live on A2DRadio.com, and the Tampa Bay Lightning just made it 3-0. So, we are off to a rip and roaring start here on the show tonight, boys. I am Matt Sassouni, along with the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
What's up? Yeah, that was just a nice pass by Braden Point. There's nothing you can really do about that. That's
pretty much
great vision.
That's been all their goals, just great passing plays and great shots.
Yeah.
And Mr. Switzerland, Mr. Blue Shirt, Mr. Broadway, Big Bad Brad Briere, and the broken one, Rob Povia.
Is it too early to end the show?
Yeah, between the 3-0 Lightning score and the Carter Hart situation, I think it's about ready time we just pack it in, boys. It's been a hell of a year. So, we are brought to you by, as always, the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, over at Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches and pains that are troubling you, and definitely there are some troubling the Philadelphia faithful right now, but if you have any physical aches and pains, the doc is who you want to call. Actually, you want to hit him up online at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Head over to Cherry Hill of Burlington, New Jersey, and the team of highly trained professionals will take care of you, and you won't have any more aches and pains to deal with. So definitely something to check out there. And our poll question today brought to you by Baggio's Bread. If you've got big event that you'd like to have catered, or you just want to go get some good food, go to Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Mention A2D for 10% off of your in-store purchase. All right. Poll question. Flyers can maintain their playoff spot without Carter Hart and Owen Tippett. Agree or disagree? Now, before we answer this, I know it may seem rather easy to slam dunk this one, but keep in mind, this is one game that we are watching right now. We still have a lot of hockey left to play. So with that, the floor is yours, gentlemen.
I'll jump in real quick. I'm going to agree with the poll. I think this is a pretty easy agree. You're getting great play from Sam Ersson, and everybody wants him to, get the bulk of the starts anyway. So now he's going to get that for the remainder of however long Carter Hart's going to be out for. As far as Owen Tippett goes, he's only going to really miss 2 games. Flyers go on a break after Saturday, and then he got the All-Star break almost immediately after that. So I think the only reason he went on the IR is because he's going to get that extra time with those 2 breaks. It's not really much. So they're going to allow Tippett to take the breaks and get healthy and get ready to go and push the second half.
All right. So, Brian, the agree. Rob, how you feeling?
I'm going to disagree to the poll. I don't think it's easy at all, Brian. Now I get it that you still have Sam Harrison, and that's great. And this is talking about a kid that could, potentially win Rookie of the Year as a goaltender. That's something special. And yeah, a lot of people have been clamoring for him to get more net time, and he will after the news dropped down today. But where does that leave you on back to backs? Now that leaves you with Cal Peterson as your backup. You're weaker. I don't care what you think of Carter Hart. Carter Hart's better than Cal Peterson. So already you did take a step down, even though you're okay in the starting position. Now with Owen Tippett, yeah, it definitely could be a formative move with the time off coming. He would be eligible as early as February 6th. I double checked that, Brian, that he could be activated. So, and he was first labeled day to day, and we were all relieved after seeing that injury that it was only day to day and not week to week with that lower body injury. But the bottom line is that these are the type of injuries that are going to start to crop up. And I talked about this last week, that this team has been doing really well at full roster. Now you get guys injured, dropping off, being granted indefinite leave. Now all of a sudden, trade deadline comes up. You make a move to free up that defense where you have a log jam. And now you have a lot less pieces that put you at second place in the Metropolitan. So, yeah, the playoffs could slip away from their hands. Wouldn't be the worst news for a team that's rebuilding, but I think it will be inevitable. It depends on how long these guys are out for. That's the bottom line.
Before we go to Brad, just want to give a shout out to everybody out there. Camel Toe Harris, Chucks, Timothy, Benny's Nation, Pete, Anthony. Thank you guys. Rosca, thank you guys for chiming in. Brad, agree or disagree?
I got to disagree, guys. Depending on it, really, it depends on how long Tippett and Hart are out. You could see the difference with the Flyers without Tippett. I mean, they're 0-2 without him so far, and looks like could be 0-3 now. That's not a coincidence. I mean, he's it's not just his offense. It's his defense too, and the fact that when he's on the ice, everybody has to pay attention to him because he's so darn good now. That's a tough loss. You don't want to. You don't want to look at this like it's going to be a long time, but you lose today. You got the Bruins on Saturday, which is going to be a real tough game, especially without those two guys. I mean, you could be squarely looking at a 4 or 5 game losing streak here, and that's gonna put you in a situation. You look at the Rangers schedule and some of the other teams' schedule. I know the Rangers tonight have San Jose. God forbid if they lose to them, but you never know. But they're finally going to come off of that road trip.
The Sharks beat the Kings, so
Yeah, no, I know they did. They've won 2. They've won 2 in a row, and they did beat the Devils when I was in San Diego.
Pleasant.
Watching the game on vacation to my wife's chagrin. Yeah, but getting back to that, it's going to be tough. I mean, look, it's tough to lose your best player. I go back to the Rangers again. The Rangers didn't have Mika Zibanejad for one game, and they looked like a completely disorganized mess. So hopefully for the Flyers, it can be next man up, but they're going to have to tighten up. I mean, tonight, I know Tampa Bay's made some nice passes, but the Flyers have to be a little bit more. They've got to be a little bit more in your face. I mean, they're giving Tampa way too much room.
Well, I will say this. I wish that we had the option to half agree and half disagree, because I agree that Carter Hart is a massive loss for this team. Tippett, though, and I'm going to say this right now, the Flyers have the ability to find offense. I think they still can produce offensively without Tippett. Yes, they can. I
agree with you, Matty.
Players need to step up. That's the problem. Travis Konechny, we need to see something from him. We need to see something from Atkinson. We need to see something from Lawton. We need to see something from a lot of guys. You know, these are guys who are capable of putting the puck in the back of the net. Tippett wasn't the only guy.
Yeah, that's true.
So
18 times he has, though. And you're talking about a projected 36 goal score. So that's, but it depends on the duration.
But-
yeah, I mean, we agree on that, Rob.
I'm not taking
the
anything
key.
away from that. I'm not taking anything away from his ability to put the puck in the back of the net and the projection that he was on and everything like that. Tippett, by every stretch of imagination, having a great season. Can't take that away from him. But he wasn't the only guy. And now it's time for someone to say, hey, you don't have Tippett now. Someone needs to step up and needs to put the puck in the back of the net. Plus, also, let's be honest here, even with Tippett in the lineup, they still got their asses kicked by Colorado. So at the end of the day, it still didn't make that much of a difference.
A lot of teams get their asses kicked by Colorado.
I mean, yeah, Maddie, I agree with you wholeheartedly, man. Like, it's time for these other guys to step up. I mean, you're seeing it tonight a little bit, especially in the first period. Farabee had a couple scoring chances. Atkinson has some scoring chances. Difference maker here tonight has been Vasilevsky. It's not an offensive output. It's not anything like that. Second half of that first period, they really started battling and winning some of the battles in Tampa Bay's end. They put some of that sustained pressure on. Vasilevsky was just better.
Right.
And when it comes to Tippett, he sucks on defense. He's terrible. The only reason he gets as much ice time as he does is because, one, he stretches the ice, and two, he's so dangerous on the offensive side that negates the fact that he's not a good defender. You don't believe me? Ask Torts about that. Because he said he stinks. I didn't even quote him. He said he stinks. That's a quote from John Tortorella.
Well, you know Tortorella when it comes to guys not playing.
Oh,
defense.
yeah. You get in that doghouse real quick.
I mean, this is where we see where some of the depth comes into play for sure. And I think we're gonna see it. I think they have, and there's no pun intended when I say this, they have to break the ice on Vasilevsky. You get one, you can get more than one on Vazzy. If he's locked in, it's hard to break it.
Right.
But once they break through, you can get through again. You just got to get that one. And they got to stay out of the box.
That's true.
They have to stay out of the box. So that's killing them. Tampa Bay, maybe fourth place in the Central Division, but they still have one of the best power plays in the league. Their plus minus is, I think, is like a plus. Yeah. I think now it's a +6 when they were like a plus like 30 something last year. Their power play unit is still incredibly dangerous. They need to stay out of the box. That's what's killing them tonight too.
Let's look at
practically 2 power play goals tonight. The second goal was scored seconds after their first power play. The Lightning's first power play opportunity.
Yep,
there we go.
Yes.
Keep talking,
there we
Rob.
go. This time it was Rob talking and they scored.
Let's go.
Okay, so from now on, I'm shutting up. Brian's shutting up. Brad's shutting up. Rob is just doing this by himself. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you guys later.
Oh, my God.
No.
Oh, boy.
Don't do that, man. I'm dizzy.
I'm getting nauseous.
Ooh, that was a good tip by Atkinson, too. He's got his 5th goal.
See? That's what we were talking about. There's one of the guys who needed to step up.
Hey, I'm not saying I disagree with you and Brian, right? I mean, that's what needs to happen for them. I mean, I'm just saying to maintain where they're at, and you drop a couple points, and now all of a sudden you went from second in the Metro to now all of a sudden you're out of a wild card spot. So it doesn't take much to fall out. And there's other guys that started off the season well. Let's look at Bobby Brink, right? And he's been a regular healthy scratch. On Monday, he was, loaned out to the Phantoms just so he could get consistent playing time and just gain that confidence back. And I think he will. But now you're out Tippett. A guy like Brink could have stepped up. Now you have Lixell, who's in there tonight and playing as a part of an 11-7 where you got 7 defensemen to 11 forwards. We've seen the fatigue factor. We saw it in the third period versus Ottawa, letting that lead get away, and against a Lightning team tonight looking a little lethargic. That's going to catch up to you.
It's true. That is true. And Benny's Nation, of course, I think, Rob, you answered that perfectly because he was saying don't understand the move not to bring Brink backup with Owen on the IR. I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that one, Rob.
Yeah, he just needs more confidence, Benny, and he find his early form, which is still there. But if he's not playing every day, it's what we talked about initially with this roster, that it found it hard to imagine that Forrester and Brink could both be in the lineup, and even still with 7 defensemen, he's down there being loaned down there. It speaks volumes.
Yeah,
Right.
and there's
They just want him to get ice time.
Yeah.
That's what it's
it's
all
that
about.
it's they want him to develop off the puck a little bit more too. I know Torts was saying this afternoon that they want him to work on his checking game while he's down there too, because good checking game can lead to a good offensive game. So I mean, like, I get it. I mean, they're also saying like Lixell had a really good camp and he was just looked really stiff when he first came up. They're saying he looks a lot better now, a lot more relaxed, knows the guys a little bit better. Just fits a little bit more than Brink does right now. It's just like Robbie said, he's just down there to work on the game a little bit, gain some confidence, and play top line minutes so he's not sitting up in the press box.
Right. And he's a young kid, and it was his first year in the league. So, I mean, it's like, all right, let the kid develop a little bit down in the Phantoms. So, totally fine with that move. And give another opportunity to another young man in Lysol. Give him a chance. Be like, all right, let's see what you got. So, with that, I'm going to say that agree. But it's like a cautiously optimistic agree on this poll.
That's why we don't know. I mean, we talk about late breaking news with Carter being granted the indefinite leave of absence. I mean, we had to change the show up on the fly, let alone, the Flyers and what their plans are. Obviously, a lot more to change.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe if Cal screws up a game, they'll be like, you know what? Let's go to free agency. Who do we got over here? Hey, is Moose available again? Let's go bring Moose back.
How long? I mean, how long do you think he's going to be out? I mean, the Rangers had the same situation with Keandre Miller, and then he came back. He only was out for like maybe a week and a half, and then he came back. So it may not be. He may not miss that much time.
Maybe.
Right.
So before we dive into Hart, let's talk about quickly here our first period sponsor. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, or you have a change of career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty LLC 302-682-8820, or visit him at alan.foy at exprealty.com. And now, gentlemen, we can jump in to Carter Hart's indefinite leave of absence. Obviously, this news was breaking literally hours before the show. So, yeah, a lot of changing on the fly here. And, well, as Anthony said, how are you guys feeling about the Carter Hart situation? Not well. Basically, the rumor is, and again, this is a rumor, so let's not jump off the deep end here. And yes, there might be some evidence that is coincidental evidence, I guess you could say, going on. But again, it's just a rumor that it may have something to do with the 2018 World Junior team. And obviously, if anyone's been keeping track of the news in hockey, there were teammates of Carter Hart that were accused of a sexual assault on a young lady. And an investigation has been brought forward on this incident. And it had been ongoing even during this whole time. Obviously, these investigations take a while. They are not a fast process because you want to get it right. So obviously, that's been the rumor mill going around, that it has something to do with this. And obviously, and Benny obviously bringing up any chance that that another shoe was about to drop regarding the junior allegations. That's the rumor. Dylan Dubé is the coincidental situation that he has also taken a leave of absence, and he
Right.
too was on that 2018 World Juniors team. So yes, there is that. But again, I'm going to stress this, and I can't stress this enough. After what had happened just recently in Philadelphia, let us not jump to conclusions until we have an actual confirmation, till an investigation has the report has officially come out, or there's been actual confirmed evidence, or there has been a statement made. Let's not jump to conclusions, but
Right.
that is the current rumor.
No doubt about it, but you could see that there was some foresight here on behalf of the Flyers administration, going back to why they drafted Bjorkstrand during the draft, and got really deep at the goaltender position, that this might happen, and this might be happening for a goaltender that's going into a potential walk year, as he'll be a restricted free agent after the season. So, I mean, just because you're taking a definite leave of absence, it's the proper thing to do until litigation, if that's indeed what the reasoning is, right? Then that doesn't mean that, Carter Hart, his career in Philadelphia or in the NHL is done. I mean, depends on how things go in that regard. But what it does mean is that I don't think this is going to be a quick thing. Something tells me it's not.
Guys, I also heard a rumor as well, and it wasn't. It's not at all what you guys have been mentioning. They've been saying that he's never gotten sick in his life, and he's gotten sick 3 times in the last month, and he needs to step away, and they need to.
Sorry, Brad.
Another goal. That's okay.
Yes, it is now 3-2. Flyers scoring on the power play.
Oh, there you go.
Jamie freaking Drysdale, baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much, Brian. We appreciate.
Oh boy.
Now, if Carter can do that, we'll be good. We'll be square.
Okay, Brad. Sorry to interrupt. Go on.
That's okay. Now, where was? Oh, yeah. He's been sick 3 times this month. And he's really worried about his health, and they wanted him to go out and get some tests and see what's going on, because they're worried about his health. So again, this is something I read. It was on the internet, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's real. Could be fake news, but I read that too. So before we get too involved with with the allegation situation, we may have a situation where he's worried that that there's something wrong with him.
They did say personal reasons, so that would be coinciding with that. But it's so in congruency with Dubé, who's also been named in that. That's the only thing. But personal reasons sides with your reasoning.
But it could be. It could be both. He could have. A situation with that and his health, and maybe that situation is mentally starting to play tricks on him as well. So that was a nice tip in, by the way.
It was.
But getting back to that, I've heard that too. So before we think about, and again, I just read this today. Right after I heard it on the news this afternoon, I went on the computer and just started trying to find articles about it, and there is some concern about his health because, as I said, he's been sick 3 times in the last month, and Carter Hart says he never gets sick, and he's really concerned about the fact, why does he keep getting sick all the time, all of a sudden?
Well, maybe he got a new strain of COVID or something.
Again, and that maybe he doesn't want people to know that either.
Right.
I wouldn't be so quick to be spreading news for people to know about that either. It could be, and the other thing could just be a coincidence. So
either way,
hopefully it's not longer than 2 to 3 weeks. It could only be that too. It doesn't have to be the rest of the season. That's just being negative.
right.
Try to look at it positively.
So either way, like I was saying earlier, we don't know anything until we get actual factual evidence, or we get an actual statement or anything. Yes, the team did not make a comment, and And again, too, we don't want to read into it too much because remember when Carter Hart went private on Twitter and everybody thought that was the confirmation that he's getting traded? I mean, there was that concern going around, and that was obviously overblown out of proportion. It's like, okay, let's calm down here a minute. And Danny even came out and said, no, none of that's true. Now, yes, Danny has not come out and made any comments. None of the team has. But still, until we've heard something, let's wait. Let's wait this out, and we will see what it bears, basically. But as for the team itself, like I said earlier on the poll, this is going to be a tough loss for the Flyers. For everyone who always hated Carter Hart, you now have your wish. You have a Carter Hartless Philadelphia Flyers team. So let's see if Urson can keep this going. I hope he can. Urson's got a tall task now. He's going to be pulling the heavier part of the weight. I know Peterson will take some games, but it's going to be mostly on his back now to be the goaltender that, he's shown the ability to have. Now it's all right. It's time to prove it.
Yeah, but it's different when you're the starting goalie as opposed to
a tandem.
It's a lot different, a lot more pressure.
It is.
Right. It's not easy, and it's not easy playing in Philadelphia, guys.
No, it is not.
No, even if it's the Flyers, it's still not easy because we may be tough in New York, but you guys are pretty tough too.
Sure.
Yeah.
What I'll give Ersson though is he has experience dealing with tough crowds, playing in the Swedish league and pretty competitive league, and he's had it. I mean, talking since Christmas, it's been a 50-50 split, and this guy's acquired a record of 12-4-3, a .926 save percentage, 3 shutouts. But here's where the key stat that maybe indicates that the Flyers will be okay between the pipes. He's got an unworldly 17.98 goals saved above expectation. I mean, that's elite.
That's outstanding.
Yeah,
That's outstanding.
I mean, like I said, I hope he continues that trend, and I hope that everything's going well for him. And I think the Flyers just got a penalty called on them.
That's how you let Lightning back taking a stranglehold on this game, because that's how this team lives and breathes on their power play. 5-on-5, despite the 2 5-on-5 goals tonight, this team's been pretty poor. They've been outscored something like 109-94 on the season, and their goal differential is very, very close. It's the power play, and even though we have the penalty kill and the shorthanded goal ability, Tampa Bay's given up 4 on the season. This is how you're feeding into their strength rate here. No matter how good our PK is.
Boy, this sounds familiar.
That was such a stupid penalty to take too from Atkinson.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, and here's the crappy part of it too. It's like he scored a goal earlier and then he does that. It's like, dude, come on, man. This is why it makes it hard to love you, dude. You do crap like this. That's rough, but you know what? Hey, hopefully the Flyers can show why they have such an elite, high-ranked penalty kill. Although the Lightning are moving the puck rather well. That's okay. Good. We did get it clear. So okay. So far, so good.
It's only 2 minutes. It's not 5.
Right. It's not a major. We're all right.
Nobody scores on every single power play.
Hey, listen, if there's one thing we know is that the unexpected can happen here in Philly.
It may seem like it, guys, but it's not every, they don't score on every, even teams that score on 35% of their power plays, like the Devils, they don't score on every power play either,
That's true.
It sure seemed like the Washington Capitals did in the early 2010s, though.
Yeah. On the Sabres when they had Drury and Daniel Briere and that group.
Yeah, and then they literally lost every single one of those players within 2 seasons.
Yep.
But anyway.
They did.
Oh.
And they just scored. God. Yeah, like you said, Rob, letting them back in it.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to be positive.
Towards
Nah, appreciate it from you, man. Even being Flyers and Rangers are one too, sporting of you. Just let me break down the power play and penalty kill breakdown for this game real quick. The Flyers power play. Looking at their power play, it looked good on Sunday, going 2 for 4. And since the Christmas break, the Flyers are 19.6% on the power play to rank 19th in the league over that span. So that's an improvement compared to the 10.8 rate that Philly took into the Christmas break. And things are clearly trending in a positive direction. They got to get opportunities to get that, though. Tampa Bay ranks 12th on the penalty kill this season at 81.3%. And the Lightning have scored 2 short-handed goals on the season. Now, in regard to Tampa Bay's power play and our penalty kill, the Flyers are second in the NHL at 86.3% success rate on the kill, scoring 10 shorthanded goals, which is tied for second with the Flames and Blues. TK has 5 shorties alone.
Oh, man.
Robbie, stop talking.
I didn't want to interrupt the live reaction to it, but I wanted to see what happened myself. But hey, bottom line is PK is Philly's strength, and it's the best way to beat Tampa Bay's power play, though, is avoiding getting in the box like we talked about altogether. 5-on-5, I think they're beatable despite their 2 tallies tonight. It is, 109 to 94 on the season. They are 5-on-5. They rely on their power play. It's at 29.7%. It's number 1 in the NHL. However, they have allowed 4 shorties and are only, put in quotation marks, only 27.8% successful since Christmas. So it fluctuates a little bit. We've been seeing tonight how it can be to their advantage, obviously.
Right.
Boy, this really sounds familiar.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I say that, I think you know why I say that, because there's a certain team that I root for that is the exact same way. We suck 5-on-5, but our power play, I think, is like very close to 30%. I mean, our power play saved us against Anaheim. That would have been, God, that would, Brian, when you guys were up 2-0, all I can think of is, oh my God, I'm never gonna live this down.
Oh my Lord,
No, I would let you live it down. It'd be fine.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be. Especially after they got their clocks cleaned in Vegas and then they went and didn't show up against the Kings.
So let's see. Mike Hayes saying, question, fellas, 5 dark horse teams that can win a Stanley Cup this decade.
Oh boy.
Well, dark horse. Okay, so
you want a dark horses? How about Arizona?
Interesting.
That'd be darkest of the dark.
You said dark.
That's true.
I tried to make it just about as dark as possible. They have a young team. That's why I just figured, okay, and they'll probably get another high pick this year. So,
dark horse. Oh, Flyers got a good turnover. They just shot it right into Bazzi's pads there.
Has Vancouver's success this season made them not a dark horse, or would they still be in that?
I would say they're a dark horse. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, I call them a favorite this year, but it depends on how they.
It's only half the season's been played.
But that's why I'm going to call them a dark horse, because even though they've been playing so well, even still, it's just like, well, is it a guarantee that they're going to do this next year? Because this team's been so hot and cold over the last decade that it's been kind of hard to kind of gauge them.
Shoot it! Oh,
I mean,
I will.
Minnesota.
Minnesota,
maybe.
I don't know. I feel like my stock has kind of fallen on Minnesota. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it from them anymore. Like, there was so much hype around them, and it seemed like they had a team that was doing things. I don't know, man. This year's been a rough year for them.
They just kicked Carolina's butt a couple of days ago.
Recently, yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. It's still halfway. I'll give you that. But
they got Kirill the Thrill back, though. Maybe that's
true.
Maybe that's got to spark them.
That's
Brian,
true.
What about your Ducks?
Oh, they're still about 12 years up with the way they're going. I mean,
I hate to say it, the Kings, they definitely fall into that category.
I mean, jumping back to Minnesota real quick, it depends on the development of Jesper Wallstedt. He just got called up this year, made his NHL debut this year. So it depends on his development and how quickly he can turn into the star that they think that he is.
Yeah, they've got a great player in Kiprusoff. Get him a little help.
Benny Station threw out the Kraken. I actually don't hate that, to be honest with you.
I hate that. Built well.
Yeah, I actually, if the Kraken managed to pull it off, I would not be entirely all that surprised.
What about the Blackhawks?
Um,
Bedard and get some guys around him.
It's possible if you get a young team that's hungry and Bedard's leading the way and they're just scoring up a storm and have some solid goaltending.
Oh, I like Mike's number 5.
Detroit,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
The Predators, I don't know. I feel like that they live by
think
Saros
they-
and they die by Saros. That's how I
think they
feel
have
about the
to-
Predators.
They're going
They
to
have
rebuild soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Their
Yeah.
window's closing.
They're still their window's closed. They really should be rebuilding, getting rid of some of these guys and rebuilding. So it's going to take some time for them.
They're in a playoff spot right now, though.
Yeah, for
They
now.
are. They are.
They
Can't
are, but-
deny that.
Are they getting out of the first round realistically?
That's the thing.
Doesn't matter
Like,
if they are or not. If you're in a playoff spot, you don't sell pieces.
The Rangers did it in 2016.
Who they sell off?
Hayes, Zuccarello. Who else? Grabner.
I mean,
So
Grabner
you
was
mentioned-
never.
you
He never
mentioned
turned
three.
into anything great. Kevin Hayes is average at best.
Well, Grabner had 27 goals the year they let him go, and then he didn't do shit with the Devils, which was great. But
they must have known something.
well, he was on the fourth. He was on the fourth line with the Rangers.
Oh, okay.
No fourth line in the league could guard him, could defend him. So that kind of was what happened. But teams do. I mean, they just then the letter came, that famous letter, that we're rebuilding, blah 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 blah, and we're gonna be getting rid of a lot of popular players, and everybody thought that Kreider would be one of them, but somehow he stayed.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Did Nashville make the playoffs last year?
They just missed.
They just missed, right?
Yeah.
They just missed.
Because I was saying they sold off pieces last year while they were potentially a playoff team. They baptized Ekholm to the Oilers, and I wasn't sure if they did make it or not, but I know they were in the running.
The last time they were in the playoffs was 2 years ago, and they pretty much got screwed before the playoffs even began because Saros got hurt literally a week before the playoffs began, and then they had
to play the Avs in the first round.
Yeah, and the Avs the Avs mauled them. It wasn't even a series.
Oh yeah.
So let's see here. Yeah, Hayes threw out. Predators. Dallas, I could consider them a dark horse only because Dallas is always in the playoffs, but they always find a way to get themselves eliminated. So
they've been to the finals.
They went to the finals in the bubble, yeah. But ever since then, man, it's just always been like, yeah, you're back. Are you going to do something this time? No? Okay. It's kind of like Carolina. It's like, okay, you're here. Are you going to do something this time? No.
Well, you'll get out of the
okay.
first. Yeah, you'll get out of the first round.
Yeah, great. First
you'll
round. Still
definitely
not
do
the
that.
final. You still didn't get there.
Well, keep waiting for them. I just get the feeling with them if they can figure out a way to get themselves top flight goaltending, they could be almost impossible to beat.
Maybe. And then the Kings, I do agree with the Kings. I would say they're a dark horse because the Kings are a team that I feel like they've been putting the pieces together and it's been working well for them so far, but it almost feels like that's a team that still has a few things they need to nail down, but out of nowhere they could come in and go on a run. I feel like that's what the Kings can do. They can pop up out of nowhere, get hot, and run. It's like, Jesus, where'd this come from? Because we thought the Kings were not done rebuilding, and they started making the playoffs for like 3 straight years. Like, oh, okay, guys. All right.
What about the local team?
I mean, the Flyers as a dark horse. I mean, I don't want to do that because I feel like if I do that, then that's going to start really causing problems. Because I hate selling on a team too early. You know what I mean? Like, because here's the thing: we don't know what's going to happen next year. They're doing great this year. Who knows what happens next year? Next year they could be
Yeah. Well,
dog shit again.
well,
We really don't know.
You saw what happened. You saw what's happened to the Devils, okay?
Right.
And that's mostly because they've been injured. I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, you don't know how your team's health is going to be from year to year.
Right.
That's why when you're in it, you got to try to win it. But it's they're going to have this guy Mitchkov coming. So, if they revert back to last year and start and have a bad second half, they'll get another high pick. They haven't been trading their draft picks, so they have all their draft picks, and they should benefit from that.
True.
Plus, some of these young guys. I mean, how good is Tippett going to be? Tippett could end up being a 40 to 50 goal scorer. I mean, maybe he becomes Nathan McKinnon. Who the hell knows? I know that's really wishful thinking. God forbid if that happens. But
if he became Nathan McKinnon, then my God.
I mean, I just after that game Saturday, boy, he was.
I will say this.
He to me, when he's on top of his game, he's just as good as McDavid. I'm sorry I'm sorry if I'm over if I get a little over doing it, but when he's on his game and he's healthy, okay, and his line mates just say, okay, I'm just gonna get out of your way.
Look at it this way: Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and that whole Colorado team trumped McDavid and Draisaitl in the Western Conference Finals.
What's his name?
Rantanen.
Rantanen, yeah. I mean, that guy. He's another one.
They all literally just stomped the Oilers, so it didn't even matter that McDavid and Draisaitl were playing. It was irrelevant in that Western Conference Finals.
Exactly. Those guys are just.
And let's see. Hayes saying, tell Brad that the Rangers need more vodka to play crap hockey.
They don't need more vodka. They've been playing bad hockey for
completely
a while.
Sober.
I mean, if you've been following them, I mean, I've been watching them. Believe me, there's been some real bad hockey the last 2-3 weeks.
And he also says, I'm at Hooters watching the Flyers game with $5 wing night. There you go.
Mike, I'm on my way, bro.
That is funny.
Where is there Hooters around here, and why have I not been told about that?
Is the one down in AC?
There is. Yeah, there's one like 5 minutes from here on the boardwalk. Their wings were pretty good.
I love how he said that in the past tense.
It's been admittedly a long time.
Hey, Moira. Say, my guy, it's been a while. Told you this team was for real. Little skid here and there, but they'll be back on track. Excited to be at the game on Saturday. Oh, well, good for you. Hopefully the Flyers will, give you something to enjoy.
Not the best time to be playing Boston, though. Right now, they're on fire.
It's never a good time to play Boston this season.
There was a little period when the Rangers knocked them off, when the Rangers beat them really badly, and then they lost the next couple of games. Next couple of games they were bad and were shell shocked, but then they got it back together again.
Hey,
unfortunately,
maybe Urson will do what Ron Hextall did to a player and do that giant swipe with the paddle onto Brad Marchand and do the entire league a favor. That'd be nice.
Why? We don't need him suspended. Come on, man.
That's a good point. All right, never mind.
Reel it
Never
in.
mind. All right, I'm sorry. Listen, Marchand just makes that man makes me want to hurt him. Like he is such a piece of crap. Like anyway,
Flyers always play Boston well, so
yeah. You pick a game to go to. That's a marquee game to go to. Saturday game. Flyers Boston. Flyers Bruins. However you want to say it.
Two of my most hated teams.
Leighton's going to be in goal versus Boston for the alumni game. That's interesting. I don't know if that would be pleasant. The Bruins might have PTSD from 2010.
I hope nobody was expecting the Flyers to win that game because now they're not.
Right. Yeah. Hey, listen, Leighton had that great. Maybe he'll have a 2010 revisit. It'll be a redo of it.
Well, I think Saturday, the hockey store, if that's an afternoon game, the hockey store is going to be a little slower at least.
Probably. And yeah, Fleury did pass Wah. So congrats to Fleury for that accomplishment. And Benny says, I hate the afternoon starts. I thought that it was going to be a benefit facing Colorado. Ha! Boy, was I wrong. Good Lord. The hockey god said, hey, man, you don't know jack, brother. You were about to watch your team get their ass pummeled. Anyway.
I don't think there's any good time to play Colorado. To be honest with you. When they play the way they did against the Flyers, there's just no time to play. When that team's flying, really, who can beat them when they're playing like that?
Right.
Honestly, who's going to beat them if they're flying around like that, scoring 5, 6, 7 goals a game? Even with Georgiev in the net, they're still going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with Kemper.
It's true.
Yeah, you see Kemper with Washington. He's not all that. He's not all that for sure.
And Flyers really did a good job at forcing Avalanche to spend more time defending their own zone than attacking. But turnovers, deflections, clutch plays, that's Avalanche's game.
Yeah, they don't miss opportunities. That's the problem.
Right.
If you give them an A+ opportunity, they don't miss it.
To be fair, also, I think the hockey gods balanced out when the Flyers blew them out in Colorado, which was pretty surprising when the Flyers did that, actually, because it was still pretty early in the season. So that was the hockey gods saying, hey, guys, it's later on in the year, and Colorado's got their shit together. So,
That was the time. That was definitely the time to play them.
Right. Okay, so before we continue forward, we'll take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we will continue to have reactions to the Lightning and the Flyers, and we will continue reading off your comments. So everybody out there throwing that out there in the fam, please keep the comments rolling in. But until then, we'll be right back right after this.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat john. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
All right, welcome back to the Hockey Happy Hour. And so, as we continue to await the third period, hopefully the Flyers can get 2 goals and tie this thing up. That's one thing that I will say about this team. Even when they lose, man, boy, do they fight. This team never quits. So that's the one thing that definitely always follows the Flyers. They could be down 8-0, and they're still going to come at you with everything they got. It's like, you know what? You got to love that from this squad. You really do. It's a good thing to have for a young team moving forward.
You saw it versus Colorado.
Right. They didn't quit. Okay, so let's see here. Hayes, he's got head coach for the Islanders. Thoughts on the chance that they choke further down the Metro. I mean, if they choke further down the Metro, okay, no skin off my nose that the Islanders miss. But I will say
you got to
this,
start
though.
thinking about Lou Lamoriello, though.
Well, But
we care. Not that we care.
Right.
I wish him the worst at all times, but
I mean, he did blight us with defensive hockey by bringing in those players to the Devils. So
he also almost ruined the game with that stupid trap.
Right. Well, I mean, him and Jacques Lemaire. But still, point being, though, my case, I'm very happy that the Islanders hired Waugh. I really want to see him have a meltdown. I really do. I'm waiting for that dime. I don't know if it's going to happen against the Flyers or it's going to happen against the Rangers. I'm actually very much looking forward to this. I hope he does have one. I mean, he almost murdered the other coach when he was in Colorado. So,
he might have one. He might have one tonight after some of those goals that what's his name just let in tonight.
Well, you might see much
goal
like
Vegas scored was bad.
Yeah,
that was
for
a
sure.
bad goal.
But yeah, what you might see like Tortorella is, while it's a little bit older now, maybe he's a little bit more in control of the emotions. Maybe.
Although the way that the Flyers are playing right now, though, and the way that Torts looked on that bench, I don't know if he's controlling emotions right now.
There's already videos going all over the place of Waz slamming sticks in practice already. So
oh my God, yes,
never
it's
mind.
going to happen.
Never mind.
Yes, may him destroy the boards in between the benches again.
Maddie, do you remember who that was against?
Was it against the Ducks?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it
was.
was.
First game of the year. It was the first game of his coaching career.
I will never forget that. That was just... See, there are just moments that you remember that are just pleasant, especially considering the fact my team had nothing to do with it. But it was funny as hell to look at that now.
The part that gets me about that whole situation with Patrick Waugh was it was against one of the most calmest coaches in like the NHL at the time, and Bruce Boudreau, like the most chill guy. Like it was just probably the nicest guy, one of the nicest coaches in the league too. Like, I don't know. It was just a weird situation to me.
I mean, okay, Bruce Boudreau was calm, cool, and collected until Game 7. Then that was it. That all went out the window. Then
he wasn't so quiet when he was with Washington.
Yeah, especially when he saw Game 7s with them.
Yeah, well, especially when he went and criticized Ranger fans and said that they weren't very loud.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next game, they're chanting, "Can you hear us?" while the Rangers were beating the crap out of Washington. And won that series in 7 games. That was hilarious.
I got to say, though, that was such a... I couldn't believe Bruce Boudreau did that. When he did that, I was like, oh, my God, are you dumb? Have you literally lost your mind? You just dared the New York fans to yell at you. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah, of all the fan bases, the Ranger fan base, they're the biggest smart Alex in the league, probably. It's not because they don't necessarily get vulgar. They just come up with some of these things. Can you beat us? Blow the whistle. Just still yelling Potvin sucks 50 years after he retired. On the road.
Sloppy seconds.
Oh, there's entirely way too much Sean Avery talk on this show. Still well done, though. Yeah. But my case also said I'd rather have fun playing against shitty Penguins than the Avs. Anybody would.
Oh,
of course you would. Who wouldn't love dunking on the Penguins? I mean, hell, I'm waiting for the day Crosby and Malkin are gone and they're in retirementville. And finally, people can start dunking on that team. It'd be nice. Anyway, maybe a few tea bags here and there, too.
So when they both get traded, who do you think would be the most logical team? What would be the most logical team to pick them up? Wouldn't that be like a Toronto move? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Oh,
yes!
What a goal by Cam York.
There we go. There we go.
Back in the ball game.
That's right. That's
stay
right.
Stay out of the penalty box.
Right. Stay out of the penalty box.
That's going to be the key to this period. They're down 1. Tampa Bay's they've proven that they can score against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's not unscorable against.
Oh, you are right, Bri. What a goal from York in the air, and he smacks it right into the goal.
The patience to time it too, so he lets the puck drop, so he doesn't have to worry about a high stick.
Ah, that
Great
is
hand-eye
beautiful.
coordination there by Cam York.
Beautiful.
That's why he's getting a lot of minutes right now.
Yes.
That's not easy to do that.
And you know what? I will say this. Say what you will about Fletch. York was a draft pick from him. So you know what? All right, Fletch, you did two things right. You got us Owen Tippett in the Giroux trade, and you drafted York. Okay.
Hey, the sun shines on a dog ass someday, you know?
Right. All right. Just call you Mike? All right, Mike. We got you, brother. And welcome. Anthony's saying, I'm glad Drysdale scored. I am too, Anthony. I am too.
It was a power play goal too.
Nice.
Good to see him over what ailed him.
Definitely. Definitely. And let's see. Anthony's saying Wah would fit with the Eagles. I think the Eagles could do with a Wah. Might kick them into shape.
No, they needed Tortorella to take off a few minutes from the Flyers and go coach the Eagles during the game.
Right.
Show a little fire.
Oh man.
Oh God, he could. You know what? If he was a football coach, he'd probably be. Oh my God, I couldn't even. Could you imagine what he'd be like?
Oh, Frosty! Wow,
that was so close. That's a shame, but it's still a great chance.
This team's got to jump here in the third period.
Yeah, this 4-on-4, man, that goal, that was such huge life injecting into the veins, and with plenty of time too.
Yep.
Yeah, the fans are back in the game. You know, they got a shot.
Right.
At least, listen, you guys got to get at least 1 point tonight.
And Tampa Bay is 9-13-2 on the road. You know, they're not a good road team. And I believe, if memory serves me correctly, that they're playing the final game of a 3-game trip right now. So they might be, skating in cement right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they could be tired, yeah. They're not exactly a young team either.
Right.
Oh, okay. Here's a fun one from Hayes. Say 3 football teams Tortsy and Robbie Thompson coach and win a Super Bowl with. I'm going to say, I will say I think Torts does fit with Philadelphia, so I'll go throw the Eagles out there. Actually, you know what? I think he could work with the Giants. I think he actually would work well with them, honestly.
Yeah, but the Giants don't have any talent.
Hey, listen. Look at the Flyers. Yes, the Flyers, a lot of people thought they were going to be bad, and look at them now. They're actually competing.
True. That's true.
No,
So
the
you know
Giants
what?
Actually have no talent. No talent at quarterback. Wide receiver core is terrible. They had a potential Hall of Famer tight end traded them who didn't really do jack crap until the last third of the season. I don't even know anybody on that defense anymore.
Which defense are we talking about?
Giants.
Oh, their defense is actually not bad, guys.
Oh, I'm just saying I don't know who any of them are.
You never heard of Dexter Lawrence?
No, I really only pay attention to fantasy football and offensive player.
Sexy Dexy and Okereke and okay.
Anthony's saying Jets where all careers go to die.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, we can agree to that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Who knows? We might be seeing Aaron Rodgers become the next victim of that.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He already is. He's probably not. Well, I mean, he probably will play again, but he'll probably tear ACL again.
Oh, man.
Or Achilles. He'll probably tear his other Achilles.
Exactly.
How does I don't know. Like, if you ever wanted more proof that a franchise is cursed, good Lord. First play, I think it was, too. Was it the first or second play of his time?
Fourth.
TK.
Great chance
Actually.
for TK.
First series, yeah, 4th overall.
Still, though, man. Talk about cursed. Good Lord. Franchise quarterback you get from the Packers. Sure, it might be a little bit long in the tooth, but my God.
Well, they just figured compared to what's his name? To Zach Wilson, he's God compared to Zach Wilson. So
Oh,
It was just so. It was so sort of Herculean in terms of like him going down, but like him coming out with the flag on the anniversary of 9/11 and like carrying the Jets into finally they're going to be a winner, right? And then boom, 4 plays in, go down.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's the story of the New York Jets and the New York Mets.
And they
It's
actually,
the same thing.
Right.
they actually beat the Bills that game.
Yeah, they did.
Zach Wilson, the only team he bothers to show up against is the Bills.
It's weird. It's funny though, because that does happen with certain players. They just love playing against certain teams, and that goes for all sports, not just football.
Daniel Jones against the Redskins or the Commanders or whatever you want to call them these days.
The commies.
The football team.
I just like calling them the commies.
There you go.
They wear red. They might as well be commies. So you know.
I like it.
Hey, let's see here. Mike says, at least you're not Joe Flacco. So,
I mean, he had a great little stint with the Cleveland Browns until the playoffs started.
Yeah, then he had an interception party. A pick six party. What did he throw? Two pick sixes in a row?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Mike also said, we could say the Bills have the worst luck Super Bowl wise. I think most losses consecutively in the Super Bowl. That's an achievement.
Well, the Vikings did it too, but not 4 years in a row. That was the difference.
Imagine if an NHL team did that. They went to 4 straight Stanley Cup finals and lost. Imagine if the Islanders, instead of having a dynasty, lost 4 straight finals.
Oh, that would have been priceless.
That would have been right. Good Lord.
Well, who was it? Who was it? Who used to always lose to the Canadians all the time? Didn't
Boston.
the Leafs? Yeah, no. Well, yeah, they did actually. Yeah. How many times did the Canadians beat Boston in the finals? Or the Leafs?
Spread out.
It was a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Of course, the most infamous one was in the 70s when the Bruins were going to beat the Canadians. And then in overtime, Guy Lafleur scored and pretty much dashed all that from happening, which is still hilarious to this day.
Oh, yeah.
Because of a too many men on the ice penalty, and the ref actually skated by the bench, looked right at Don Cherry and said, "Can you count?" And then skated away, just to pour more salt to the wound.
He's lucky Don Cherry didn't jump on the ice after that.
Oh my God.
Don Cherry was kind of nuts too.
Oh man,
he was Tortorella before Tortorella came.
Right. Hence why he only lasted so long as a coach.
Yeah, except that Tortorella wears like normal clothes and not,
Yeah, whatever the hell.
Up like Ronald McDonald every game.
That's one thing you do miss with Don Cherry. It's like, Jesus, where does this man find his who is his tailor?
I don't know. Maybe he calls Walt Frazier before he goes to games.
Maybe.
He was one that used to have some bizarre. He still does wear some bizarre outfits, but it's him, so he can do that.
Right. All right, so let's jump into the third period here, which is brought to you by, if you are looking to get away and you need to have a vacation of your dreams, Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams, whether it be to Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls to. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. Ritz and Chucks of A2D are the two gentlemen to speak on that matter because they are the experts in travel and vacation. All right, so recap of what we've been seeing from the Flyers. It's been a bit of a rough go of it. Obviously, they lost to Colorado. They lost to Ottawa. And that one was a heartbreaker against Ottawa. And a winnable game, too. And they flushed it down the toilet, which is really sad. And obviously, tonight, there's still hope. But it's been one of those where it's like, whew, are you guys trying to lose? It's starting to get a little worrisome. But after a rough weekend of hockey, What are you feeling, guys? Do you feel like that this is I don't think it's a collapse. I just think that they've had a bit of a dry spell. I don't feel that from this team.
It's not a
It's not a
collapse at all,
collapse.
Matty.
It's not a collapse when you lose your best player.
No, I get that, but you know how sometimes people make it more dramatic. That's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, here it comes.
But Matty, 3 games ago they beat the Dallas Stars 5-1. So what are we
Mhm.
talking about here?
I'm only saying that because you know how we hit the panic button. And
Yeah,
we
of
start
course,
to,
yeah.
and everybody starts to worry, like, oh no, here comes that collapse.
Right. Well, it's been a myriad of things, right? So you get blown, or you almost get virtually blown out. You have that late comeback versus Colorado, Ottawa. You give up a 2-goal lead and a third period, a 1-goal lead going into the third period. You lose Owen Tippett to the IR, Carter Hart. Leave of absence. So yeah, it's enough to make anyone jump off a bridge. But I don't think it's that time yet.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, how many back-to-backs have they had this year where they've won both sides of it?
A few.
They play. I didn't get to watch the game on Colorado, but they played a good game. They played a good 40 minutes against Ottawa, and then in the third period, Claude Giroux scored early on, and that was it. They had no good scoring chances. They had like no fight left. They were done. They were on the back end of a back-to-back. It was the third period. It was another afternoon game. They were just shot by the third period. That's all that was. There's no need to be worried about this team. I'm not worried about this team. You can call me Captain Optimistic. In fact, I'll even put it on my name tag next week. Dale's Captain Optimistic. This team is fine. I'm not worried about this team. Nobody else should be worried about this team. You're getting good depth scoring from some of these guys. Yeah, it's unfortunate with whatever's going on with Carter Hart, and God forbid it's nothing negative, and it's something that he can take care of quickly and be back. Owen Tippett, I'm not worried about. He's going to be back on the 6th anyway. But I mean, you're getting good play. Look at tonight. No Owen Tippett since the 4th goal. It's been all Flyers.
Right.
Yeah.
Cooper was yelling at the ref about something.
Yeah, he looked pretty mad about something. Maybe he should yell at his team for getting a little lax defensively.
Right. 2-goal lead.
Should yell at his barber.
Or his toupee guy.
There you go.
Yeah, me and Robbie don't got to worry about that no more.
Nope.
Hey, you guys embraced it. There's something to be proud of there.
It
Anyway.
took me way too long to embrace it, though.
Right.
What were you going to say, Rob?
The only cause for concern I have is that there's this logjam. I talked about it earlier in the show that the longer you keep rolling 11 forwards and 7 D-man, you're having your top 9 log extensive minutes. And you're seeing Coots and TK really piling on the minutes. I mean, how long are they going to be able to withstand that load? I think that, ultimately you got to find a D-man to sit or trade. But I mean, who are you going to take out? You can't take out Samoa. He's been valuable on the power play, and really all that. I mean, if anything, Risto. I haven't been too happy with Risto's game tonight. He was out of position on the first Tampa Bay goal, and took a untimely penalty when we were on the air that led to a power play goal. So it's just tough because he brings the one thing few of our other defensemen bring, that's size.
Right. I mean, Risto was out of position 5 seconds ago, which allowed for a really good opportunity for the Lightning. Thank God Urson made the save, though.
That was a heck of a pass, too.
It was a great pass, but at the same time, it's like Risto could have been in a better position there to kind of box that out to make sure that didn't become something. But, luckily, no harm, no foul. Right.
They're just winning battles in this third period. They just won another huge puck battle in their own zone. I think that's been a real big difference maker in the second half of the game here.
We are also out shooting the Lightning by this point, so that's also something to be noted too.
I hear you, Mike, with Risto, but they're going to trade guys from a point of strength, from a point of talent that's playing well. My pick would either be Nick Seeler or Sean Walker. Probably more likely Sean Walker gets dealt.
Agreed, Robbie, 100%.
Yeah, there's been some talks. I know apparently there was a rumor that the Lightning were interested in one of them, in either Walker or Sealer. So that's interesting to note. and ironic too. But
No, I mean, you got to move them. You're going to, like Robbie said at the beginning of the show, there's a logjam at defense right now. I mean, you got Emil Andre, who's cracking at the bit to get back up here. You got Oliver Bonk, who had a great camp this year that almost made the roster, but didn't because he wasn't going to get the minutes. And so he's probably going to make the roster next year. You got to make room for some of these young guys. I mean, despite the fact that they're sitting in second place in the Metro right now, this is still a rebuilding team. They're still in that rebuilding mind frame, which is why Bobby Brink got sent back down.
Right. And yeah, you said it right there, Brad. What a save by Erson.
That was a huge, when you consider the score right now. I mean, they kind of backed in on that play and just left and left them kind of hanging there. That was not good, but their goalie saved them.
Right. In case you haven't been following along with the game and you're just joining us, Bobby Brink was sent down to the Phantoms. Oli Lixell called up in his place, playing tonight. Also, Cal Peterson's been recalled to back up Harrison with Carter Hart on indefinite leave.
Yeah, and I mean, Ollie's had a couple of moments here and there. I think he was part of one really good rush in the second. So he's been skating well. Hopefully he'll get some opportunities, and so hopeful that Leixel does really well in his call up here to Philadelphia.
Speaking of call-ups, I'm actually excited to watch the Ducks game tonight. Olin Zellweger's making his NHL debut against the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Hopefully he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy eventually to replace Drysdale, but hopefully this is first steps and hopefully some positive things for Anaheim. It's been all negative the last couple weeks.
Brian, did I read this right? They're 3-15-1 at home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I can only imagine if that was the Rangers or the Flyers. Oh my God! Could you imagine how the fans would act?
There'd be heads mounted on bridges.
Oh my God!
That's why the majority of the fan base doesn't go, and it's why the opposing team's fans take over.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know what? It's funny because when they on Sunday night, I mean, I heard "Let's Go Ranger" chants the whole game.
Oh. A little roughness there between Isamon and Farabee there. Hayes Mike to answer that question. The Phantoms.
Yeah, John Stevens fan team, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
With a young up and coming Claude Giroux and Jeff Carter and Mike Richards and gentleman we had on the show, Riley Cote. So. And the goaltender was Antero Niittymaki. We all thought that he was going to be the goaltender we were hoping for. Nope. Not at all. Oh, well, that's life. What are you going to do?
I remember him.
Real quick. Am I the only one who thinks Ashlyn Sullivan is real, low key, super hot?
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah.
Okay. I was just making sure. There's something about her. I just don't know what it is. I look at her.
Instagram's fire.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I gotta say though, you know what it is? It's that office lady sexiness right there.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got the Pam Beasley look, right? Right.
And that's the thing about it too. It's she doesn't wear a ton of makeup, or at least it doesn't look like it on camera. And she's got this natural look to her, and it's just super appealing. She literally, and this is kind of the thing that really gets on. It doesn't get me going, but it's gotten me more interested in her. Is the fact that she actually enjoys what she does. You can tell, her demeanor when she's talking to Hartsey or Al Morgani, unlike Taryn Hatcher. I feel like there's more energy there. I feel like there's more there. She's more enthusiastic to be talking hockey, which is something she didn't do before she got here. Because when she was
did she work for the Jaguars? I think
she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she worked for the Jaguars. She was working in football before she came up here.
To be honest, anything is probably better than the Jaguars. So
right. Jaguars have been all right the last couple of years. Not good. They've been all right.
Listen, between that team and the son of the owner running a really crappy wrestling promotion, at the end of the day,
No,
yes,
but I'm just
I
saying, like,
said
she's
it.
got that.
AEW sucks. And
I mean, I'm just saying, like, she's got that girl next door vibe, and I think that's great. Honestly, like, I like that she actually like seems like she knows what she's talking about, and she brings enthusiasm to the chair. I like that.
well, hey, there you go. That's nice to see.
It is nice to see. Like she genuinely seems like she wants to be here, which is great. But I mean, kudos to Taryn Hatcher. She did a good job for a long time, and she's moving up in the world because of it. But I don't know. She just seems more enthusiastic than Taryn did.
So before we close this game out, Benny said it's also North Florida.
Fair enough. I've been there. It's really not all that fun.
So let's see
Where all
here.
the crazies are.
Oh, so that's where all the Florida man is. He's always roaming North
my
Florida.
gosh.
Okay, gotcha.
Is that where they? Is that where they?
Go ahead, Robbie.
I'm gonna say a stupid joke. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I worked with people in North Carolina that were from North Florida, and they were legit batshit crazy. Like legit batshit crazy. One girl was from just outside Orlando. I forget where exactly. And then the other one, I think she said she was from like Daytona Beach. I'm not exactly sure if that was if that's exactly North Florida. I know that's obviously on the coast, but
Yeah.
a bunch of crazies over there too. Jeez Louise.
So, did you score?
Hell no, I don't want none of that.
You said girls, and then you brought up the craziness. I'm like, well, okay.
It's like, all right, so there's
I don't see the problem.
I feared for my life with these two. I walked on eggshells not to piss these two off because I've seen them pissed off, and I wanted nothing to do with that. Like, she almost got into multiple fights at work because of how crazy she is for no reason. And then I forget what the whole story was, but she wound up getting eventually fired for spitting on a manager for no reason at all. I think there was a reason for it, but I mean, he was just trying to settle the whole situation, and she spit in his face. I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, some people might find that exciting, though, which then would make it confusing.
I mean, everybody's crazy to an extent, but when you need to, when
That might be a little bit.
you're doing
overboard.
shit like that, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that might be a little too much.
No, I'm good.
And Betty's like, you know what they say about crazy.
Yeah, Benny, I do. And there's a certain level of crazy I'd be willing to deal with, but not like that.
All right,
Fear
so
for my life. Get out of here.
Yeah, I just double checked it, boys. Little known fact: bath salts were invented in North Florida.
oh well, that explains a lot now.
Yeah, it's where the zombie
man.
apocalypse is going to start too.
It starts in North Florida and then it creeps its way up.
I mean, it's already started, right? People eating people down there because of bath salts. That's zombieism.
Yep.
Last time I checked.
No wonder NASA's looking for habitable planets.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the hell out of Florida. Anyway,
Or they're trying to get them out of here.
just put all the crazy ones in the rocket and send them off.
Yeah, they found a couple of planets in the Goldilocks zone, and they're going to send them over there.
See, now the colonization of Mars makes so much sense. They were just trying to find the quickest solution to the problem.
There you
That's
go.
what it
and
was.
they don't care if the atmosphere boils your blood.
Right. They didn't care. As long as they were out of here, that's all
exactly.
that mattered.
Exactly. Just say it's a planet. It's a planet in the Goldilocks zone. We don't have to tell you that there's no air in it. You know that it's all methane and carbon dioxide.
Oh, get it, Coots.
Oh, come on.
Where is it?
Oh, Vazzy's got it. Damn. Ah.
Oh, some.
A little extracurriculars.
A little pushing and shoving.
You're jamming in on the goalie. That's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
True. Oh, between Littleberg. Hey, cool. I got a little Jurgen. We got a little Berg. I love it. It's perfect. That's one thing I do enjoy when the Flyers play Toronto. I get to say little Jurgen when I see him.
No Victor Hedman jokes now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But Hayes did Mike did say, don't get a hockey boner, Brian. Anyway.
I know how to control myself. Calm down.
All right. Specialized physical therapy, by the way, is bringing us the overtime. So if you got any aches and pains, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, Dr. Paul Vidal, he'll take care of them. And if you even if you have aches and pains from crazy ladies.
They'll do it too.
4-3 the score. And it's 6:08 left in the third period. Man, the Flyers they've been getting some scary chances, but nothing's gotten by yet. It's just, it sucks when the really good goaltender is in the other net. Arguably the best goaltender in the world.
Yeah,
You mean
and
you
he's
have
getting
to? You mean
healthy.
you have to score a goal against the best goalie in the world to tie up the game?
Hasn't played like the best goalie in the world this season, though.
He's been pretty good
this
tonight,
season
though.
overall,
Yeah,
Roddy,
he's been good
for
tonight.
sure. He's starting to get
rounding
moved
into
through
form.
again. Yeah.
Some bitch.
Yeah.
Maybe just in time to win Tampa that elusive third one that, I kept saying they could win another one. I mean,
Nah, they're too slow.
hey, say what you will. You meet the right teams that like to get into penalties all the time, like the Flyers, and anything's possible then,
Yeah, well, you have to. Yeah, you have to just be. You have to play smart against them.
Right.
No, I mean, let's see here. In terms of the power play chances tonight, Tampa Bay's 2 for 3, Flyers are 1 for 2, so they've only given them 3 opportunities on the night. I think you tell me that they hold them to 3 power plays. I mean, the game's not over yet, but that's a win right there. But
Absolutely.
Yeah,
geez,
but
they
you can't
scored
give
on
up
2
2
of them.
goals, though.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
imagine if they got into more. Jeez.
Right.
Hayes. So keep saying Hayes. I'm sorry, Mike. I don't mean to do it. You know what it is? I'm trying to replace Kevin Hayes with someone who's awesome. So sorry, Mike. That's not what I do apologize. But
Florida could win it. He's right.
He's not wrong. Florida, I give them credit, man. We thought that maybe they were just reenacting 1996 last year. I don't know. Maybe 1996 last year was just a preview.
44 goals now.
I know. Good Lord.
Jeez. I mean, he's always been a really good player. Don't get me wrong, guys, but 34 goals this time of the year?
Right.
What do they play? 47 games?
Somewhere around that range.
The Flyers are at 47.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to score 60 the way he's going right now.
I mean, Florida. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
46. Sorry.
Still, though, it's the same range.
Florida is a very dangerous team.
Right. But, I mean, to be fair, though, I mean, yeah, I know I joked they wanted to reenact 1996 last year, and they did. But, it was only, 2 years ago this team won a President's Trophy? Yeah.
But then they got swept in the first round of the playoffs.
Right, because it's the President's Trophy.
Right.
But at the same time, I know they had some players leave since then. I know guys like Anthony Duclair are no longer there. Although, to be fair, I don't think Anthony Duclair's really done all that much with San Jose.
Does anybody these days?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Fabian Zetterlund or
Thomas Hurdle, maybe.
I mean, Hurdle, yeah, or if you're you're one of the few young guys that are trying to make a name for yourself and desperately trying to do it, or Eklund or what have you. But anyway, and you don't have Huberdeau, but you know what? I don't really think that's the worst thing in the world because it's not exactly like Calgary has thrived with him in their lineup.
Huberdeau's been terrible in Calgary.
Right. So, I mean,
I don't know what happened to his game. Is it that miserable living there?
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. My father grew up there, so he was far from being a miserable person. He was quite jovial all the time. So
was your dad a Flames fan?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, of course he gave up on the Rangers and went to the Flames. And I always said, you're a freaking truck jumper. Yeah, very especially when they got Lanny McDonald. He's like, they're gonna win before the Rangers. Yeah, and then they go ahead and do it.
I mean, the way you could have fired that back was like, well, technically the Rangers have won a cup before the Flames anyway. So, I mean, technically they already had.
Yeah, technically, but I mean, since they've been in the league.
I got you.
Yeah.
Mike saying, hot take before I go. Florida, Vancouver, Stanley Cup. It'll be fun to watch Vancouver burn. Oh, they lose to Florida. It will burn. Good Lord.
Again? Oh, my God.
It's one thing to lose to the Islanders, the Rangers, and the Bruins. Okay? It's another thing to lose to a Florida team.
Yeah.
Not only would it be their first cup that Florida would win, but it's also Florida in a market that was struggling for a very long time until they finally figured out how to run a team properly. So,
in a market where there were more people at somebody's wedding than there were at the hockey games.
Right. Oh no, Tampa's looking scary. Ooh. Okay. By the way, for the Red Wings, do we have a
They're
score?
losing 5-4, by the way, the Red Wings.
Oh, okay, good.
With 2:50 to go in the game, in the third period.
Good.
Wear them down.
Wear them down, yes.
And they had a goal disallowed because I forgot who scored it, but the guy was being a klutz. He took a perfect pass and he went offside. He went into the Dallas zone to get the pass while he was still actually he caught the pass in the Dallas zone. His stick was outside the zone. It's like, and of course he ripped a wrist shot past past Ottinger, and they was immediately challenged. And I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a quicker challenge than that. It was like they challenged it, and 3 seconds later, bang, they took the goal down.
So it was literally just. It was an obvious offside.
Oh, yeah. It was. I mean, it was.
Pull the
so
goalie.
far offside, it was ridiculous.
I know. Oh, they did.
All right. Well, let's see what happens.
All right.
Now.
Extra attacker out
Here
for
we
the
go.
Flyers. 2:42 left on the clock. Good win, Coots. Come on, boys.
Get somebody in front of the net.
Oh, they were. They did have a couple guys in front of the net. Unfortunately, shot went wide. Oh, there you go. Good job keeping it in. Come on, boys. Oh, in the slot. I didn't get. Come on.
Ooh, keep the zone.
Yeah. All right. Set it back up. No, they're changing. Oh, good recovery. Oh, damn, the back check. Oh, man, if only the head rested on Konechny's stick. It just shot right by it. Oh, such a great chance.
Shots 30-20 in favor of the Flyers. Back on the plus
God, you
side
hold
of the
them to
shots
20.
column.
Yeah. You talk about holding a team to 50 to 20 shots. That's impressive.
They are barely onside on that one. Thank God.
Yeah, they were. They may have gotten away with that, actually.
Either way, though, it's okay because I would rather them reset and get a better play anyway than score and then get challenged.
We got the game back on NHL Network now live.
Oh,
so
nice.
I'm watching it with you guys.
Oh, here we go.
I've been able to watch in spurts because they put, how they do that.
They do the live look-ins.
Yes, yeah, they're going to show the rest of the game, obviously.
Come on, boys, come on. There you go. Come on, Zamula.
Well, they got a lot of guys in front of that net.
Oh boy.
Oh no, that's not good.
Oh, that's
game. Damn. I'm blaming the NHL Network. They just had to do the live look-in. Come on, guys, leave us alone.
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. They.
No, it's not your fault. It's the NHL Network's fault. They just had to do that damn live look-in. Next thing you know, Hagel scores.
Of course they did. I'll tell you what. Zamola had to hit the net on that one shot.
Oh well. What are you gonna do? So the Lightning most likely win this bad boy. For us, before we head out, let's do a quick score.
Who's the next game?
The Red Wings. So
Okay.
hopefully the loss the Red Wings take tonight is enough to make it
That's
make
not
them
final.
miserable.
That's not final yet. They pulled their goalie. They're in the same situation right now.
Hey, what's up, Mean Metal Mike? Looks like we're going to take the L tonight here, brother. All right, guys. So before we head out, Red Wings, give me a score, gentlemen.
Give me 5-4 Flyers win.
5-4 Fly, guys. Regulation or OT?
Regulation.
Regulation.
All
All
right.
right.
You got to go. I'm going in between now because they've already been 1-0 game 1, 6-5 game 2. Flyers got to take game 3, and it's going to be another high scoring affair.
Gotcha. All right. Robbie, hit me with it.
This is a tough game to predict. I mean, Detroit is scoring at a high clip. They're scoring 3.48 goals per game, which is tied for 7th with Boston Bruins. I mean, then who would have guessed that the Red Wings would have been tied with them? Just to give you a frame of reference, Tampa Bay's got 3.32 goals per game. They're in 11th, so even a higher scoring game. But they can be beat. They can be beat on the power play. So
They have a little goals against problem too. Detroit, and they have a little bit of a goaltender problem. As I told you guys, you know what I think about Husso. Don't like him at all. I think it's going to be 6-4 Flyers.
All right. So Brad says 6-4. Robbie, what you got?
I don't give predictions. Next.
All right. I'm going to say 4-2 Flyers. Flyers. Let's get this win. Come on. Let's beat the Red Wings.
Huge game because you know what they can't lose to the Red Wings and then have to play the Bruins on a 4-game losing streak because it could easily end up being 5. So that's a game they got to win.
They do.
That's why I think they're going to win the game. They've been incredibly resilient. And they're better on, let's be honest, guys. They're better on the road than they are at home.
It's true. As evidenced tonight, 6-3, another empty netter from Kucherov, his second goal of the night.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, so that will do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. And we were brought to you by the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy. Until next time, guys, we'll see you next week. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy out there. Hopefully we'll have an update on Carter Hart. And, here's fingers crossed that when Tippett comes back, he is still on firing on all cylinders. All right, guys. Until then, stay safe out there. Peace and love, everyone. Take it easy.